Looking at question 1, it says, if two lines are parallel, A and B, and are intersected by transversal T, fill in each blank. Then we'll draw an example. So if we're going to have parallel lines cut by a transversal, then you're going to have corresponding angles that are congruent. Alternate interior angles will also be congruent. Now, corresponding angles, when you have your two parallel lines, which I have marked with the extra set of arrows, cut by a transversal, corresponding angles will be in the same relative position. So if I put angle 1, in this intersection, you can see it's in the upper left-hand corner. So down in the other intersection, it'd have to also be in the upper left-hand corner. They will be on the same side of the transversal, but one will be inside your parallel lines, angle 2 is, and one will be outside your parallel lines. This is not your only possible depiction of this, but it would work. Alternate interior angles have to be inside your parallel lines. So there I put angle 1, but it needs to be on the other side of your transversal. So I put angle 2 on the alternate side. Alternate exterior angles are also congruent. Same side interior angles are supplementary though. So picture-wise, these alternate exterior angles have to be outside your shape, but still on alternating sides of your transversal. They cannot be on the same side, because if they were, then they'd be same side exterior angles. So still on the exterior outside of your parallel lines, but now on the same side as your transversal. When you have a linear pair of angles, they're going to be supplementary. It's something we talked about at the beginning of this unit. So linear pair is when they are both supplementary and adjacent. So to be adjacent to where I have angle 1, we have to use the same vertex, the same intersection, so where A meets T. They also have to have the same, share same side. So I could use this side or I could use this side, but it has to be right next to it. So I could put angle 2 here, and those would be linear pairs. Question 2, we got this picture with all kinds of parallel lines, M and N, F and G. We're going to name the two lines in the transversal that make up the angle and then classify it. What I would suggest, if you can manage it, is highlight your picture, redraw it. There's extra information here. That's why we're asking for those two lines in the transversal. So if I look for angle 1, I see angle 1 is created with line M and line F. You see how I've highlighted angle 1 by doing that? I'm also looking at angle 4. Well, angle 4 uses line M also. It also uses line G. So we've just listed out everything but line N. So my two lines would be F and G. The transversal that's cutting those two would be line M. And if you're just looking at that, if you kind of cover the bottom half of your picture, 1 and 4 are outside F and G. They're not between F and G, they're on the outside, so they are exterior angles. They're also on the same side as line M, so we'd call them same side exterior angles. If we go through and do the same work for angles 5 and 9, well, angle 5 uses line M and F, but 9 uses F and N. So now cover up line G, you're not going to use it. If I'm looking at those lines, 5 and 9 are on the, you're going to use M and N, sorry, I just said that, and F. They're on the inside of line M and N, but they are on the same side as line F. So if we combine those, same side interior for being on the same side as line F, inside M and N. So it's not inside that little box we have shaped there because you're covering up G. There is no box. It's inside of the two lines. For 7 and 12, 7 is made up of M and G. 12 is made up of G and N, so you're not using F. Our two lines would be M and N. Our transversal would be G. If I'm looking at 7 and 12, they're on the inside. They're interior to M and N, but they're not on the same side as line G, so they're alternate interior angles. And then 3 and 14, line M and G, line G and N. They are not, sorry, M and N, G, there we go. They are on the outside of line M and N. They're not between lines M and N, but they are on the same side as transversal G, so they'd be same side interior angles.